We also have Krystianer. There's a lot of them. But we have his opponent spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ancient Sister, and we have the orange Protoss player representing Storm Gaming. It is MindelVK. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ancient Sister, and we have his opponent. We have the Polish Protoss player, not pink or purple. What's going on? The red Protoss representing Team Blazer. It is Krystianer. Boy. And looking at the bracket, I'll be honest, I'm pretty sure that Krystianer is the favorite to make it to the finals right now. You know, he is quite a highly ranked player, and there are some other European Protosses looking to stand in his way, but I think Krystianer is the one to beat. Can anyone bring him down? The last time we saw Krystianer in the Sparkling Tuna Cup was, I believe, 2 weeks ago. We saw Night Phoenix take down Krystianer in a best-of-3 series. And I believe off of that, Night Phoenix was able to make it all the way to the finals, and he had a really intense series against Wayne in a PvZ. But alas, Krystianer has been able to avoid Night Phoenix in this bracket. Night Phoenix is in the lower half of the bracket instead, and that does open up the possibilities here for a deeper run, for a longer run. But we'll see if that's going to be the case, as MindelVK is here with his second life, in a way. Demi, of course, had to forfeit earlier. He had to bow out from the tournament, and that means that MindelVK will have another chance here at reprising his role, at going even further in the tournament. We'll see if he can pull it off here in this mirror matchup. So far, mirrored builds, double gate openers here from both of our players. It's what we expect on Ancient Cistern. There is no ramp going into the natural, so it is not safe to go for a gate expand. Not safe at all. And we have a double Stalker opener from Krystianer. We have a Stalker Sentry opener from MindelVK. So off of this, we can already gauge kind of their outlook on this game. We can see MindelVK wants to be a little bit more defensive. He's a little bit more concerned with scouting and trying to figure out what his opponent is up to. Meanwhile, Krystianer doesn't care as much. With this double Stalker opener, he's going to have map control. He's going to be able to vie control for the map and also assert pressure across the map as well. And maybe even get some kills as he moves out. We'll see how this goes. Behind this, we have our expansion as well. So Krystianer is going to be delaying his 4th unit. He goes double Stalker into 1 Sentry into expand. So he does delay his units a little bit here for a faster base. Meanwhile, MindelVK does make 2 Stalkers instead. So he's going to have a slightly later expansion. Krystianer with the earlier expansion. So just slight different variations, slight differences here in their overall builds. Meanwhile, Krystianer also, again, just delaying gateway production to go for a faster Twilight Council as well. He's going to go straight into that, and that is going to be scattered by the hallucination of MindelVK. He dips in, sees that, hey, your Nexus is a little bit faster, your Twilight Council is a little bit faster as well. You have a little bit less units to work with. And MindelVK should be feeling pretty safe overall. Safe to get into his own build. He's also fully aware that his blink is going to be slightly later than his opponent, so he's going to have to be a little bit more defensive and a little bit more conservative as a result. His blink is now on the way. But yeah, nothing too crazy here in this PvP. We're getting into what we love best. Oh, my apologies. Thanks for pointing it out. My apologies. Have not fixed the overlays. Jackie is no more. Oh, Smooge. Smooge, Papi. But what was said in the chat earlier? We are all Jackie. There you go. MindelVK may be reborn, but he is also still Jackie as well. That's just how it works. That's just how it is. Aye. As yeah, we're getting into a relatively passive start to this game. It's kind of what is expected here in the European meta of PvP. It's where the quote unquote stereotype comes from, where it's like EU PvP is a lot more standard in comparison to, say, Korean PvP, which is a lot more chaotic early on. But I think a part of that also just comes down to the players themselves. Like in Korea, you have Classic and Hero, which are always looking to be aggressive and always looking to be in your face. So it just kind of leads to that in the end. As we do see Krystianer pushing out across the map, gets a couple of Stalker kills for his troubles. Is going to be looking to rotate around. Krystianer does have the Stalker advantage. Gets eyes on the third base, and we'll see if he gets another kill here. He does get the sentry. And so far, the blinks are good enough. Krystianer hasn't lost a single unit. Up! But I spoke too soon, and now finally Stalkers are falling on both sides. Krystianer initially trading more efficiently, but with the defender's advantage, Krystianer's going to be losing a little bit too much. He comes in from behind. Oh, but will lose everything. I have to wonder if that was worth it. At the same time, two Adepts slip into the main base. Krystianer, he wasn't looking. He was hyper-focused on his blink control across the map. And as a result, he loses 4 more probes, loses a 5th, and even a 6th. Even a 7th. Oh my god. After all said and done, again, the blink control was impressive, but we can see here Krystianer lost more Stalkers. Because of the defensive warp-ins, because of the overall positioning of MindelVK, he was able to out-trade his opponent. And he himself had some pretty good blink control as well. The counter probe kills as well. MindelVK is still in this. Slightly ahead, even, I would say. And after that, Krystianer, he has to back off. We see 2 more Adepts looking to shade into the natural. MindelVK, I love this. He's looking to distract Krystianer as that happens. Picks up a couple of probes, and the Adepts do shade in. And Krystianer is being pulled apart. He's having a really hard time engaging on both fronts. We see a couple more Zealots going down as well. Sure, he has Immortals, but he can't really make use of it. As the Adepts get 10 probe kills. Oh my god. And a sentry as well. This is just becoming too much. Far too much. MindelVK, he's so far ahead economically. We have charge and +1 finishing at around the same time for both players, but we do see Krystianer going across the map with his own Adepts. Does commit to the shade. Does get some probe kills, but not enough to make up for his own losses. The Adepts go down. The gateway explosion is upon us. MindelVK has a stronger economy, but he still can't make full use of it. Not yet. As both players go for their forts. Second Immortal is coming out. Oh, sorry, actually, that's still the first one. Oh, okay. Krystianer, his kind of big advantage was his Immortal production, but still he only has 1. Hasn't been able to really fully make use of it. And MindelVK's catching up. He's got his own Immortals on the way. His Stalker count's getting higher and higher. Krystianer, he's going to make some magic happen with this push. Here we go. Oh, MindelVK, a bad time to move out here. He misses the army. And we're going to end up in a pseudo base trade. Here we go, Krystianer, he blinks on 4. The Immortal is exposed immediately. MindelVK, he does back off, and it's too late to turn around. He has to commit. He has to commit to his own push. Who recalls first? That is going to be the question, as MindelVK is going to be losing so much, and we do recall back home, and Krystianer barely loses anything. Boy, meanwhile, Krystianer, he did leave his Zealots back across the map, so he's going to be looking to get another hatchery, another Nexus. Same can be said for MindelVK. There's a lot going on right now. Probes are falling for Krystianer. Likewise, so are they. The same can be said for Mindel. But it looks like Krystianer is holding on to more workers overall. He's going for the Nexus. Up, can he get it? It's going to be close. Up, and it looks like the Nexus will go down. pretty interesting trades overall. We see Krystianer, he wants to kill the 4th base of Mindel, but we do have a couple of reinforcements coming in. He wants that Immortal. And it looks like he won't get it. The Immortal survives. MindelVK is knocked down to 2 bases. Krystianer is still on 3. The base trade did go better for our Polish Protoss. Oh, we blink on forward. We take down the prison. And it looks like Mindel can take this fight, but he's going to be losing an Immortal. Oh my god. So close. Reinforcements are coming from across the map. Mindel's trying to hunt down these Stalkers. But as he hunts them down, the Zealots are going for their own counterattack, for their own run-by. We do have a cannon and a shield battery to defend back at home, so we should be okay. We should be able to defend even with less Zealots. MindelVK is going for his own counterattack. The pressure is on him to get a kill on this Nexus. He wants it. Oh, is he going to get it? Oh, it's going to be close. We have a massive orbital charge. It's going to cost him a lot of Stalkers. The Nexus goes down. Oh, but he's going to be bleeding out 1, 2, potentially 3, maybe even 4 Stalkers. Oof. Krystianer, though, he already got his other base up and running. GG gets called, and Krystianer does it. He takes game number 1. Oh. After a pretty wild base trade. Unfortunately for Mindel, Mindel was in a better position before the base trade happened, and then he was just caught out of position. Caught in the middle of the map with a lesser army as well. Krystianer claws his way back in. GG. GG. Oh. I'm looking at the workers active just plummet for Mindel. And with that, Krystianer takes the lead in the series, is 1 game away from advancing onto the semi-finals, where Arcfire has been patiently waiting. Here we go. So players just getting ready for their second game. Sorry, I was a little bit distracted by what's happening in the chat. Just catching up, This is scrappy. It was very scrappy indeed. MindelVK is the real Jackie. True. This is the Scooby-Doo villain reveal that we've all been waiting for. As we are getting into our next game and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gresfam, we have our orange Protoss player representing Storm Gaming. It is MindelVK. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Gresfam, we have as opponent, we have the Polish Protoss player representing Team Blazer, the red Protoss. It is Krystianer. MindelVK was doing such a great job. He was doing so well last game. His Adept harass, his Stalker harass as well. He was just pulling Krystianer apart after Krystianer overextended with his Stalkers. And he was doing such a great job harassing and crippling the economy of his opponent. And then the base trade happened. And then the base trade occurred that Krystianer was just so much better prepared for. Because he hit faster, he could recall as well. He was able to minimize his losses. Those last moments of that game were very intense, and they did go the way of our Polish Protoss player, and now he's 1 game away from taking the series. MindelVK, he has to bring it back here and now. Also, there's something about Gresfam. I don't know if you noticed, but Gressfan is the only map where the tuna is upside down. Ah, take care, Poppy. Take care. Shout out to Shura, an artist over on Twitch and Twitter as well. Was of course commissioned to make all of our logos. The tuna, the platypus, the turtle as well. They're beautiful, even when they're upside down. As we are getting into this. Once again, 2 gate openers all around, as to be expected here on Gressfan. Nothing too crazy. Our probes are still out on the map, looking to keep an eye on each other, to get an eye on whether the pylons are thrown down across the map, are there any proxies, and what first 2 units come out as well. As we can see, both players are going to be going for double Stalker openers, and interestingly enough, MindelVK is going to be delaying his Nexus and going for a faster Stargate instead. And Krystianer is in the dark. He saw the second pylon, but he hasn't seen anything else yet. As we see that Nexus turned down instead. So Krystianer is going for a more economic opener. MindelVK wants to try and do some damage though with a more aggressive opener. That's going to be a lot of pressure on this first Oracle, because this Stargate is going to be delaying the Nexus. It's also going to be delaying the Twilight Council. We can already see the Twilight Council on the way here for Krystianer to get into those Blink Stalkers. MindelVK and has a lot riding on the line here of this Oracle. His Stalkers are also going to be applying some pressure here at the natural on the low ground. The goal here for these Stalkers are to distract the army, ideally take down that hallucination, but also keep Krystianer busy here at the natural while the Oracle slips into the main. Here we go. So far, the controls looking pretty good, especially because Mindel does have that Stalker advantage. Krystianer has to be careful not to lose his sentry. As the army does get distracted, we do have the Oracle slipping into the main base. Krystianer does see it, but he reacts with his weakened Stalker. Oh, there we go. Stalkers do arrive in time. Oh, and this Oracle, it goes down for only a single Stalker. That is not the damage that we were looking for. It's okay, we got another. We're gonna do it again, Papi. We're gonna do it again. But great reaction out of Krystianer to be able to realize what was going on. His hallucination did indeed confirm the Oracle coming across the map, so he was able to react in time and have Stalkers in his main base. We do have that second Oracle looking to dive in, but again, we have plenty of anti-air in position. Meanwhile, Mindel is aware that his Blink is delayed, his Twilight Council is delayed. He's going straight for a Robo instead, and this makes plenty of sense. We need to catch up when it comes to overall quality of army, and these Immortals, they do make up for the lack of Stalkers that MindelVK will be working with. This does mean that Mindel is going to be taking a more defensive role here in the mid game. He's going to be forced to stay at home, bank up 2-3 Immortals, and just stay defensive until he catches up on Blink, until he catches up on all these other upgrades, which will allow him to then be aggressive on the map. Meanwhile, Krystianer, like, he knows that he has quite a bit of a Blink advantage. He's going to be taking a third base, and behind it, he's going to be moving out across the map. MindelVK is going to be in a bit of trouble. Again, even though Mindel doesn't have Blink, even though he doesn't have the Stalker count that Krystianer does, he's got the Immortal at least, and an Overcharge, and a Shield Battery. Not bad. Oh, but we can avoid it. We can avoid it all as Krystianer blinks into the main base. He's going to be able to shut down some of these probes, get a scout of the tech as well. Even does trigger the shields on the Immortal. Oh. Blink control pretty damn good here from Krystianer. And now he rotates over to the low ground. He's going to be able to deny that shield battery. Gets a force field off as well. And there's no Blink. We can't bypass it. Oh, but we can't capitalize either. Krystianer just doesn't have enough to keep on pushing. Nice moves though. Nice moves. that second Oracle got one probe kill, but was forced back into the corner of the map. See Krystianer just bullying Mindel here, just trying to find a way in. Like, Papi, back off. Just leave me alone. Let me catch up as Blink is halfway done. +1 on the way as well. I'm a little bit surprised that we're staying on 1 Immortal. That's the most surprising thing to me. We didn't get a second Immortal. There it is. Second is on the way. As Krystianer's economy is still booming. It's going to be a little bit late when it comes to +1, so there's going to be an upgrade timing here that Mindel can make use of. But outside of that, Krystianer still has more than 10 workers. He's got a 4th base on the way. He's asserting himself with these Stalkers, just making sure that Mindel has a hard time expanding and taking a 3rd. Oh my, and Mindel. He's gonna be going all in. Let's go, Papi. Let's go. We have Glaives on the way instead. No charge. We do have Blink at least, but we're gonna be going for a massive wave of Glaive Adepts instead. So Glaive Adepts, they have a really interesting role here in this matchup. They don't have a lot of longevity. As the game goes on further, they get outscaled by Stalkers, by Charge Lots, by Archons. But against Stalker Immortal, Glaive Adepts can do really well because Stalkers, they don't really do a lot of damage to Glaive Adepts, kind of like against Zealots, like Adepts do more. Likewise, Immortals also have a hard time dealing with Glaive Adepts as well. So there is no 3rd base, it's a 2 base all in. It's all or nothing here for MindelVK. This can work well if there weren't Charge Lots. I think that all these Zealots are going to pose a massive threat to Mindel's army, to all those Adepts. I do worry for him, as we do have Krystianer going across the map, sees the lack of 3rd, and is going to force a reaction out of Mindel, and Glaives isn't done yet. Uh-oh. Glaives isn't done. We have a recall back home. MindelVK is forced to pull the trigger. No shield batteries here at the 4th base, but we can afford to lose the 4th. Oh, the Prism will go down. Force fields are looking pretty damn good here for Mindel, and Krystianer is going to be funneling on through. But we don't care. We blink forward anyway. We're going to be able to focus down the last remaining Immortal. Oh, it's going to be a rough fight, a rough trade. The Zealots are stuck behind all these force fields as well, but they're going to be able to get on top of everything, and Mindel will lose his entire army. And what did he get? He got a Mineral Line, and that is it. GG gets called. Krystianer takes game number 2 and the series. GG, well played. Ooh. An interesting build from MindelVK. As we saw, as soon as the Prism went down, that was kind of game. MindelVK couldn't reinforce, he couldn't warp in another wave of Adepts to help support his army. He couldn't micro and save his Immortals either, as that Prism provides so much utility to a Protoss army, especially in a PvP or in any kind of matchup, really. So Krystianer sniping it was the right call, and yeah, with that, GG, well played. Krystianer moves on. MindelVK had a really solid game 1. It's kind of like his series against Demi, where game 1 was so solid, game 1 was so close, and it was here in game 2 in both series where MindelVK just struggled a little bit more, and it did seem to be a little bit more one-sided as well. Oh, GG, well played. My heart goes out to MindelVK. Hope he isn't too upset with his performance here, and I hope he can, appreciate his games that he did look really good in, and I hope he's able to improve and come back next time in the next Sparkling Tuna Cup. Meanwhile, Krystianer has his next opponent ready and waiting. It's going to be Arrowfire.